Zoburn, it's ended up in a 2-1 defeat here, back at the Newman following the trip to Isle of Man. But what did you personally, you and the gaffer, make of it out there?
Well, we've seen some really good stuff, and we've seen some stuff that we need to work on. So, but in terms of as a whole, very satisfied. And obviously, we don't ever celebrate a winning pre-season, and certainly don't celebrate a loss. But what we've asked the lads to do, they've done in abundance, and obviously applied themselves really well. But Halifax have asked big questions of us tonight, and they played some good stuff. And it also gives us some stuff to work towards and work on in training on Thursday, and try and sort of put a stop to what we've seen tonight in terms of, being exposed at times and putting the ball at risk too much. And obviously the outcome of that is we concede. But on paper, it's been another good test, and I think the lads have really stood up to it.
In terms of the errors that you've seen there, is it stuff that you've seen from last season, or are these kind of like new errors?
We keep alluding to the fact that these games are just extended training sessions, and we have to make mistakes in pre-season, because if we don't, then we go into the season with some sort of arrogance and belief that we won't be beat. So it's really important that we do see mistakes, and we do see patterns where we need to improve, and it's the basics that I think we need to improve on, distances in central areas and stuff like that. But again, I can't stand there and criticise distances when we're asking lads to hit the high speed and the numbers. So they'll argue that on match days maybe they won't go and do that 15-yard fury and go and try and get a ball that they probably can't affect, whereas tonight they've tried to do it. And the challenge is, before the game, is hit your numbers, hit your high speed running, and they'll argue and probably justify that's why they've done that. So, but again, taking that into the season, there's stuff that we need to stop. We need to be a lot more tighter our possession. We need to react quicker in transition, and that's the stuff we spoke about. We haven't seen that against Altrincham and Fleetwood over the weekend. And again, we have to. Let's be honest, we've had a tough weekend. Thursday we trained, Friday we played, Saturday we trained, Sunday we played. It was a long day Sunday, but it get back to early. I was Monday morning, so I don't make excuses. The gaffer don't make excuses, but I think for today, we'll marginally give that excuse as tired legs. But again, they was good. We was good out there. And you asked me a question. Yeah, we've seen certain stuff we've seen last season, but we've also seen stuff that we didn't see last season, which has made us better. So on a whole, yeah, we're satisfied.
Obviously, I think that's the key thing for pre-season, is iron out these mistakes early so they don't affect your season upcoming. But obviously, the games come quick and fast. We look ahead now. We've got Bury coming up on Saturday, big game, and important in terms of memory-wise for Paul. What are you thinking ahead of that? Obviously, there's a training session in between.
Yeah, we'll train Thursday. We'll look back at what, like I say, that I've just alluded to there. We'll look back on what we believe we can improve on. We'll hopefully take that into Saturday's game. Again, it's a very sentimental game. It's probably the first time that we will represent Paul and the cause. Another tough game. I think Bury are unbeaten in pre-season. They seem to be scoring goals. They're not being beat by a higher opposition. So it's got all the making of a really good game. A game that we'll want to win. A game that we'll want to see marginal improvements from tonight, which we take that into that. Bury then come to us, and we can't use the excuse of a full-time side and a side that are playing in a National League or the league. You look at the last 4 games: Crewe, Halifax, Altrincham, Fleetwood, all full-time. Whereas we go to Bury on Saturday. Bury come to us on Saturday, who are going to be hungry. It's a local derby, and like you say, the actual cause is good from both sides. So we hope that everybody applies themselves right. And the biggest thing for us is getting lads 60, maybe 90 minutes injury free, and obviously a positive result.